Hello, my name is April Rovero, and I'm the founder and the executive director of the National Coalition Against Prescription Drug Abuse. And in this video, I'd like to talk to you about risk factors and red flags that are specific to prescription drugs, but really can apply to pretty much any substances out there that could be abused by our young people. So first of all, in the case of risk factors, the family history of addiction is one of the most prevalent of those factors. It's really important to take a look and kind of examine your own family. Who in your family, whether it's mom, dad, sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts, whoever, has an addiction problem, and that could be to anything. It can be to tobacco, alcohol, or whatever. Take a look at that, and the more people you have in your family that has an addiction issue, the more and the closer they are to you genetically, the more likely, you or your children are going to have a problem. So that needs to be factored in as you have those conversations with them. Also, early first use, because the teen brain isn't completely developed until at least 25 years old, there is a real big impact on that brain as substances are being introduced into it. And so we need to be mindful of that and encourage our kids to delay the use of any substances as long as possible. We all kind of assume there's going to be some experimentation going on in high school, certainly college, but the longer we delay that, the better they will be. That is a risk factor. Also, we find that there are a lot of co-occurring issues. We can have people with addiction problems down the path that actually had a mental health issue. Perhaps they had depression issues, anxiety, they had bipolar problems. What we find is that often there's a self-medicating element. People are looking to feel normal, to stabilize, and so it's not uncommon for them to seek out substances to get that taken care of. And if there's any kind of childhood trauma, that could be a death in the family, especially if it's a close, family member. If there's a divorce between mom and dad, if there's abuse of any sort of that child, it's not uncommon for them to seek out substances to try to deal with that stress and the feelings that come along with those things. And if there's a difficult transition, let's just say that you're moving from California to Europe, and maybe there's a transition period there because of work-related changes or whatever. Those can be difficult transitions for students, and they may seek out substances as a result of their stress involved in that. I want to share red flags with you. What do you need to be alert for? First of all, I want you to trust your instincts. That gut feeling that you have, tune into it because often it is right on. Look for really noticeable changes and don't assume that, their strange behavior or changes in their behavior are just normal teen stuff. But you are indeed looking for those more notable changes in their friends or the eating habits, whatever the case may be. If you see physical signs like pinpoint or enlarged pupils, tune into those pupils because they can tell you a lot. That can be a sign of trouble, either with opioid abuse or stimulant abuse. And then, of course, if you see drug paraphernalia of any sort. The situation, if you see any of these signs, may not be dire, but it definitely needs to be addressed, and the earlier the better. To learn more, please tune in to the other segments of our prescription drug series.